everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute. I think when I left you, the last video I posted was probably months ago, March, April. That time was just such a whirlwind. I had a deadline of when I was trying to get all my house and garden renovations done by, because I had friends coming to stay. And to be honest, the amount of work I was doing around a full-time job, and the filming and the editing, putting videos out, it was just a lot. It was a lot of work, and to be fair, by the time I'd finished all of that, I was just burnt out. So it's been a pretty epic summer. The house has been amazing. It's been so nice to see all of my hard work come together and look amazing and get to enjoy it. And I promise I will do a sort of house tour for you guys to see how everything's kind of ended up. There was lots of little snagging bits, but yeah, I'm just, really happy, and it's been good. It's been nice to have a bit of a break. But in true Amy fashion, it's not been a complete break, because over the summer I have been planning and executing my next big project. Actually, this idea I've had for about 3 years, but sometimes things take a long time to come to fruition. So I would like to introduce my next big project to you, and that is I'm going to convert a minibus into a luxury off-grid camper van. About 3 years ago, I took an epic road trip from London, from the UK. I drove over to France and then down through France into Italy, all the way around Italy, and then back up to England through Switzerland and Belgium, and then hopped back into France. And I did that over about 4 weeks? I think about 3 weeks. I took the sports car, I just packed everything up and put Lemon in the passenger seat, and we went, and I just had the most amazing time. I met people, I stayed at lots of different places, I had friends come down and visit me, and I just loved it. That freedom of traveling and exploring was just the best thing that I could ever have imagined, and I've just been desperate to do it again. But as I've been thinking about it, I realised that, it's quite expensive, because obviously on top of the fuel, you obviously have your accommodation fees and food and then activities. And also you're limited when you do have a dog sometimes, although most places are quite good, but you can be limited to where you can stay and what you can do and things. So I started seeing a lot of videos about van life and camper van conversions, and I don't know, fell in love, got inspired, and I just really could see myself doing and enjoying that. And a lot of very sensible people said, oh, you should rent a camper van first and try it out and see if you like it. But that would be far too grown up and adult for me to do, and also it's not cheap to do that, and I'd much rather take that money and put it into my own project rather than pay somebody else to enjoy theirs. I'm 99.9% sure that I'm going to love it. And actually, one of the things that's great is that the job that I do, I work remotely half the week, and we do have a sort of policy that says that we can work remotely from anywhere within the UK. So there are so many amazing places in this country that I've never visited or seen, and having a camper van would just give me the freedom to just go away for 2 or 3 days and work remotely from wherever I end up. So I'm looking forward to doing that. The other thing also is that we have a great culture of festivals in the UK. Music festivals, arts festivals, literary festivals. I mean, there's got to be a festival for everything these days. But I've never been to a festival, and I'm dying to. But I'm a bit of a sort of fair weather glamper in that I would rather not have to share a toilet with hundreds of thousands of other people. And I like my, you know, I like to have a shower every couple of days, or, you know, every day if I can. So I think having a fully decked out camper van will just mean that I can have a proper bed, have a shower, have a toilet, make my own food, and really enjoy getting out and just meeting people and trying new things and having different experiences. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of the idea of what I want to do and why I want to do it. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to make this happen because it's obviously quite an investment. I knew that there was no way that I could afford to buy a camper van that was already fully fit out to what I would like to have, because you're looking at 60,000 plus. I did go, you'll remember I went to the Motorhome and RV show back at the beginning of the year, and that was really interesting, but I also didn't really see anything there that I liked. And you know me, I love a project. I love to learn how to do new things. So I decided to go completely the opposite end of the spectrum and buy a minibus in the end. I was looking at panel vans, but I've ended up with a minibus because of reasons that I will explain a bit later. But I thought, let's just go from the beginning and let's do it all myself. Everything that I can possibly do myself. So that meant that I then needed to save up the money to actually buy a van, and then also, you know, as I work, fund the conversion. So I grafted harder than I've ever grafted before, all this summer, just making extra money wherever I could. And I finally saved up enough, and as of August of this year, I am the owner of a 2005 Mercedes Trekker bus, and I will show you her shortly and give you guys the tour. I bought her from a lady up in Leicester who had bought her in 2020 to convert into a camper van and then never did. So she's been stored in a barn for the last 4 years. As soon as I bought her, she went straight to the garage because, having not been kind of driven and used regularly for that time, I wanted to make sure that she was in good mechanical condition. Also because I would need to drive her the 2.5 hours from Leicester back to London. So there were a few mishaps along the way and things took a bit longer than we expected. Again, I've got some footage of all of that which you guys will see shortly. And it's only in the last week really that I was able to collect her and drive her home. So this is all very new, it's all very exciting. I don't have a timeline on when I want this done for. Ideally, I'd like to be able to use her next summer, but whether that's realistic, we will see. Obviously, I'm doing all the work, you know, outside of my core working hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5-ish. So I'm really doing it evenings and weekends and, you know, holiday time off. So we'll see. And it's coming into winter. So we're just going to have to see what happens. But also, I don't really have a budget for it. So far, the bus has cost me £5,500. And the repairs so far have cost me about £2,500. So we're sort of all in at the moment about 8-ish. So that's all the money that I was able to kind of save up over the last few years. And now, as I'm going through doing the conversion, I'm having to buy materials and parts, you know, on a monthly basis. So that will obviously affect the build time. Also, did I tell you I have no idea what I'm doing? I don't know anything about vans or cars or pulling things apart or putting them back together or building things like showers and kitchens and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of learning happening. I've watched billions of hours of YouTube, there's been some really helpful channels that I follow regularly, and there's a guy also called, I think he's called the Campervan Converter. I'll link it below. But he's actually done 2 builds on this specific model of bus. And that was one of the reasons why I chose this model as well. So I've got a bit of a guide, but I'm also completely doing my own design and doing my own thing. So that's what's going to be coming up over the next year-ish or more. I haven't decided yet what the frequency of videos is going to be. I was doing weekly videos last year and that was great, but that puts a lot of pressure on actually doing enough work during the week to create a video, and then you have to find time to edit it, which is quite a lot of work. And the other thing also is that over the summer I have been putting together a blog, which I'm really enjoying, which I will also link at the bottom if you would like to go and read some of the trips that I've taken and other things that are happening. And I'm just really enjoying the whole like writing process and putting photos in. So I think at the moment I'm going to be putting videos together that will come out every couple of weeks maybe, so that you get a bit of an overview of what's been happening. But I will be writing blog posts with photos far more regularly, probably every 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days, depending on what's happening. So if you want, please go and subscribe to the blog. You'll get, you know, the most up-to-date updates, and then you'll be able to watch it all back in a shorter format. So the first few videos will probably be a bit chaotic because I've taken bits of footage over the last few weeks, and so things will look a bit, you know, the quality is not fantastic, but I'll get back into the routine now that the bus is home and I'm getting the plan together and stuff. So I hope that you enjoy the next videos. I hope that you are happy to come back and get on this journey with me. It's quite exciting. And I just want to thank you for watching, supporting, subscribing, and I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts. Have you done this before? Do you have any idea what I should be doing? Any great ideas you've seen? Just get in touch. This is going to be a learning experience for all of us.